Hey guys, welcome back to Fort Mort. I know you're having a hard time recognizing me, but I am here under this helmet. Sorry, my mic was a little bit loud right there. I have got a special guest and I've got a special thing for you going on right now. I'm having a hard time seeing through this helm. But yeah, I got a special guest. He's popping up right there. That's right. I've got the head of the Utini hanging out with us right now. You can see him with his soldiers in the back. We are going to do good things. I know people think the Jawas are a joke, but today I'm about to prove that they're not. Big fans out there, me, and many big ones out there love these Jawas. Here is my special guest. Introduce yourself, Utini.
Utini, bitches.
Haha, anybody recognize that voice? Let's drag them off. We are in here. We are about to talk about modding and how to take care of these Utini, how to get it done. If you guys don't know this legend, this is Molpillz. Say hello, Molpillz.
Hey, Mort. So happy to talk about Jawas in this forum, man. So psyched to be here.
Oh, I freaking love the Jawas, man. A lot of people, I'm known for my Jawas, even though they're nowhere your caliber. But we do dirty things with Jawas here. So we are going to talk about how to mod them, where they're usable. We're going to talk about at my level how to use them. We're going to talk about which is the lower levels, and the Molpillz, which is at the Kraken levels per se, I guess is what we say. So he's got. Are they all Relic 7 at this point?
They are all Relic 7.
That is fabulous. Okay, let me pull up my Jawas and we'll start talking about it. Give us what you got, Molpillz. What are you thinking? How to use these Jawas?
So, when they first came out in popularity over a year ago as a counter for bugs, I think some people get into them. That's kind of when I got into them. And then, in using with bugs, I kind of then saw a little bit of the mechanic, and I'm thinking, well, hell, they really, really eat up high AoE teams. And that's when I started trying to take them against Grievous. And that's what led me to relicking them, because the higher I could bring them up, the more effective they were against Grievous. And I was able to actually take out some Grievous teams with my Jawas.
That's awesome.
And then obviously with Mon Mothma coming out, they just eat up Mon Mothma. And, and Imperial Troopers is one that I've been able to take down with my Relic Jawas as well. And obviously recently we've seen the viability with some of the Jawas under Rey. So I think there's a lot to talk about there. I think there's a lot of good things in the Jawas, but there are a couple keys that you need to know if you're going to take them up against some of these teams. So
they're doing the dirty deeds with Crancor. Is that what I'm hearing? With
they
Rey?
are, yeah. So I've used them in phase 1. I know that there's an SLKR meta that's out there right now that a lot of people are using to get super high advantage and or percentage in the Rancor, but that kind of requires really top end stuff.
Right.
I think if you've got moderately decent Jawas and you've got Rey, I think that's a really viable 10 to 15%er for you for P1 or Rancor or Challenge Rancor.
That's awesome. Okay, so where do you want to start modding wise with these guys?
Well, I think let's just talk about the concepts, right? So first of all, they're a passive counter, not an active counter, which means their counter viability is because they get attacked, not because they attack.
That's a great way to say it. Yep.
The strategy is survivability, right? And so you gotta make sure that they can survive through at least 2 rounds of AoEs, and then they're good.
Yep.
And then you'll start seeing your opponent just disappear, like somebody hit the Control-Alt-Delete button. And I think let's talk a little bit about what does it mean to mod for survivability, and then we can get into the mods itself. There are 4 elements, or sort of 4 kind of categories of things that you can fit from your mods into survivability. Obviously, health and protection, the top 2, right?
Yep.
Defense is another good one, and then crit avoidance, right? Those are the 4 elements that make up survivability. And Jawas are known in the Star Wars universe as being the scavengers of the Outer Rim on Kamino and on Tatooine. And I think Jawas really can be a good scavenger of your mod inventory. Not those, because the way you need to mod them, not being offensive, actively, you don't need to put your speed secondary sets on them. So you can save your +10s, 15s, +20s for your other meta characters.
Yep.
And they can eat up those mods that are sitting in your inventories that you've collected through other mechanics. Then you're like, I don't know what to do with this mod. It's got defense, it's got protection, it's got health, it's a crit avoidance arrow, it's all these other things. Your Jawas are going to scavenge them, and that's the place to put them.
Oh yeah, big time. And for me, I agree with you. So I use mine at the lower levels a little bit faster because I like to get them out in front. A lot of people like to use them on the lower end, but you're totally right about the health, protection, defense. It's huge.
There's one exception to that, and that's Jawa Engineer. So we can get into, if we want to get right into modding, the modding about him, we can talk about that, and I can talk about engineer, because that's the only Jawa that I actually mod for speed.
Same. Yep. And the reason being, and because you want to get that crit chance on scavenger, right?
Yeah, so I want to do two things. One, I want to get the crit chance up, and two, I want to get some turn meter going so that I can get one of two mechanics from some Chief Nebbit going. So let's talk a little bit about team order. Primary composition, Chief Nebbit lead, and then the rest of the Jawas: engineer, scavenger, dacha, and Jawa.
Right.
I want to get engineer going. So right now I've got my engineer is modded with he's got a health set and a speed set on him, and I've got him right now up at about 291 speed. I'm obviously continued to farm mods and
wow,
we'll replace that. So I've got him at 291 speed, and he's cranking out about 88,000 health and 53,000 protection at Relic 7.
Wow, nice.
So I use him. I use his recalibrate mechanic, which gets turn meter up for all the Jawas, and my second fastest Jawa is Chief Nebbit, and so I use that to get him out. And I use one of two abilities with Nebbit. I either go right into his distracting negotiations first special, which gives him taunt.
Yep.
I also like using and with teams that have a dispel, like a B2, I like to use Desert Ambush, which with critical chance up, it brings other Jawas out to attack, and if they attack and crit, they go under stealth. So it's a passive taunt.
Right.
And if that gets dispelled, I've now got his taunt available that I can call him back up, because I want to focus fire away from scavenger and onto Nebbit.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons I like engineer fast myself at my level, because I get that crit chance up, and by putting the crit chance up, if scavenger crits, he goes directly under stealth, and you can't target him without AoE. So I put him directly under stealth.
Yep, and that's why I like that second special from Nebbit too, because that puts all of them who crit. It essentially gives that basic ability from scavenger to the entire team.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my Nebbit modded right now to have 86,000 health and 96,000 protection.
Nice, very nice. So then keep in mind, guys, that everybody's mods are going to be a little bit different. I know for me, I tried to find mods, like you said, not waste them all the way out on the Jawas, because mine are only gear 12 to gear 8. But one of the things I try to look for is exactly what you said: health, protection, not crit chance, crit avoidance, and defense. And then on top of that, with scavenger, I like to put the crit chance up, because a lot of people don't realize the bombs blow up with a chance to crit or not crit. And if you get crits, you're more likely to take out guys like Grievous. If you can get that crit chance up, you're going to have a much bigger hit on each bomb crits or it doesn't crit individually. Not just one big crit. It's boom, 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 boom. Each one goes off. So it's a huge advantage to crit.
Yeah, totally agree. And I like, I've got a speed arrow sitting on engineer. I've got a health arrow sitting on Nebbit, so that I can get him a little bit tankier, because again, I want to focus fire on him. All my other Jawas have crit avoidance arrows, because I want to send the crits.
I do too. Yep.
The crits,
Yep. I have the same exact thing. 4 Jawas with crit avoidance, 100%.
Yep. So, so that's kind of the key there. And if you can, and as you farm mods, right, and those of you that are farming for speed, you're going to swing and you're going to miss a lot of mods. Think about if you're bringing Jawas up, think about them. Look at them. If you've got them and they're rolling multiples on either health or protection or defense, that armor up's going to help too.
Oh yeah.
So this is an opportunity to not maybe just trash and sell those mods that you throw away. Look at them. If you get a gold mod for a Jawa, is either a health or protection primary with health, protection, defense secondaries right there. You're in it to win it for Jawas.
Yeah, 100%. And they, like you said before, it's about survivability. The more AoE based they are. So guys, so you understand, that people that don't know Jawas, every hit that a Jawa takes, Jawa Scavenger has potential to drop a bomb on that opponent, and it can spread it all the way across. So the more hits that you take, that's why they work so well against AoE teams. Like my Mothma, I haven't lost to her yet. Geos, I wrecked the majority of them, 20 to 30k higher than me. It's a great combo for those.
It's actually more than Scavenger, right? So with Scavenger's line in the sand unique, any Jawa ally that is damaged by an attack has an 80% chance to put 2 thermal detonators on each enemy that attacks.
Right.
So those that have mass attacks and mass AoEs
and assist,
they're you've got potential to get 5, 10, 15, 20 bombs thrown out there at a time. I've had Mon Mothma attacks where before I've had a turn, I've had 60 plus bombs on every character against Mon Mothma, and just one toss from Scavenger eliminates all of them.
Yeah, and the crazy part, like for a Relic Geo Alpha, usually 17 bombs will blow him up if you can get around to it. That's the key, though, is the survivability. If Scavenger dies, they don't stack any more bombs,
Right.
and they go off. So, like you said, 2 turns. So it's huge. There's a little bit of mechanic to it. It takes practice, but you can do it.
Yeah, and so I think let's talk a little bit about some of the teams who've taken them up, because there's some definitely gotchas, and there are definitely comps that you want to avoid with taking Jawas up against, because you'll run into a brick wall. So we talked about. I mean, I don't. If it's a pure bug squad, you're in it to win it every day, and if you're comparably leveled, right? I wouldn't take Gear 8 Jawas up against relic bugs. But if you're comparably leveled, you're going to win that every day. You're not going to necessarily win for super high banners. You'll probably be in the 48 to 52 banners, depending on how it goes, depending on whether or not you can blow them up before Spy gets a huge hit. But you'll be okay. It's an opportunity not for banners, but it's an opportunity to save Treya if you're looking for a full clear, if that's the difference.
Oh yeah, and there's a huge difference. So like for me, using my Jawas, it allows me to take out Geonosians and save a really good team for defense to stop somebody from coming at me. It's been huge for me in GAC. Have you noticed how much better they are in 3v3 than they are in 5v5?
They're crazy good. They're
crazy good in 3v3. Oh my goodness, they are so much better.
Yep. It's good. Mon Mothma again. Mon Mothma is another one of those that's a super easy takedown. It's almost money in the bank. And I've even found on average I get one or two higher banners against Mon Mothma than I do against Geos.
Yep.
Because all those AoEs are at 90% reduced, damage, right? So they're actually a ton of AoEs, but they're hitting like lightsabers over on the rebel side. So, and you don't have a spy. So you kind of survive a little bit longer, a little bit better there. The caveat, and the one thing that I've run into with Mon Mothma teams, is if there's a either high modded or a high relic or a highly off health and protection SRP, Scarif Rebel
Pathfinder.
Because his revive mechanic can sometimes cause you to time out, or you just can't get around him, and you can't get enough bombs on him to take him out, because he'll regenerate with a small health pool. One or two bombs will blow him up, but he'll come right back. So you kind of get caught in this loop where you just can't stack enough to get him out. So that's a caveat. So watch out for that. I tend to not try to take them in against Mon Mothma if there's an SRP. I'm giving away secrets, and everybody's gonna know what to put their Mon Mothmas to avoid my Jawas, but for the good of the community.
I noticed a struggle with K2SO too, because of his starting high tenacity. That one was an issue getting him down as well, but I eventually got through it.
Yeah, so that's something to watch out too, right? So if there's Chariot and or K2SO, they're going to get a lot of tenacity up to start. So so it becomes a longer battle. So you're definitely watching out for that. But usually that eventually you'll catch up there. Again, the reduced hit on the AoE and the assists that Mon Mothma calls help the survivability factor there. So it doesn't reduce the win percentage. I think it just elongates the battle.
Yeah, that's exactly. It takes a while to get through it, and it's unlike the other. Usually Jawas are 1 minute and you're done. The fight's over. They blow them up, but yeah, it's a little bit longer.
Before.
Yeah, fair to that.
So I've had luck taking out full R7 General Grievous teams.
That's amazing. I need to hear about this because I've been studying this.
Well, yeah, so it was a General Grievous team with Newt, and the stopper there, the blocker there is Droideka. Don't bother against Droideka.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get into damage immunity, and you're done.
Yeah.
He'll just pick you off one by one.
Just pick you off. Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen that same thing.
Yep. But yeah, no, I kind of was stuck. I had a team where I needed to use Treya, and I had already burned my I had my Jedi Revan on defense, and I had Padme on defense, and I'm like, wow, I really didn't leave myself a lot for Grievous. And I said, well, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go for it. And it was the Newt Grievous comp, so it was just it was Newt in place of Deca, and I brought him in, and they just started started bearing down on it, and a lot of B1 assists, a lot of AOEs, and everybody's assisting, and next thing I know, B1 disappears, and then B2 disappears, and then
Yeah.
Grievous disappears, and then Newt disappears and comes back, and then like before I know it, I mean, it wasn't a high banner because I ended up with just 3 Jawas left, Nebbit, Engineer, and Scavenger, which are the 3 that I've got best modded because they're the 3v3 comp, and they're
Yep.
the 3 that go with Ray. So they were the only 3 that survived, but it was a win. I wish I was recording that battle, because I didn't think to record it because I didn't think it had a prayer working.
It worked beautifully.
It worked beautifully, yeah. And
Yep.
I mean, for a win, again, it's not an efficiency play. So if you're a player that goes up against an opponent in GAC, and you're looking to win by 1 or 2 banners, this is not the strategy for you.
Yeah.
If you're looking for full clears and be competitive and just do something that's a little bit alternative and off the beaten path, the Jawas are your brown boys from heaven.
Yep. And they've got some viability, like I said. If you learn how to play them, and if you got them, I'm not saying go out there and farm you some Jawas, but if you've got them in your roster, why not put them to use? It doesn't take a whole lot of good mods, like you said. You don't need speed mods. You don't need a lot of these things. It's survivability. Just wait them out, and as soon as they boom, 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 they blow up. It's over. So it's just practice. Honestly, it's just practice.
Yep. And I've had about 50% luck with Imperial Troopers.
Yeah.
And I did that for science. I said, I want to try this against a 5v5 Troopers team, and it was your Veers, Stark, Piet, Death Trooper, and Range Trooper comp. And sure enough, they survived, and they were able to get. And I got a lot of good RNG help.
Mm-hmm.
That 50% assist chance that Range Trooper gives to Imperial Troopers was hitting it like 90%. So they were assisting a lot. So there was a lot of damage going out and a lot of bombs coming back.
Yeah.
So I was able to get more bombs out before the Piet's damage ramped on the troopers, and I was able to get ahead of that. That's that's an RNG game, right?
Yeah.
If you want to roll the dice, you can roll the dice there. Moff Gideon takes that off the table completely. If Moff Gideon's on that troopers team, don't even bother, because he's gonna roll that second ability that brings protection up on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And with that protection up, you're not going to get especially if Piet's there, you're not going to get enough bombs out to fight through that protection up, their regular protection and their health, and take them out before the offense ramps up on Piet, and they just start mowing your Jawas like the front lawn.
I was going to say, the minute they take one Jawa down, they boost up their offense, their speed. They just start hammering, and you're done. So if you can't take them out quick enough, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So
add the meta in there, you're done.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It's a fun one, but again, that was for science, not for
Mm-hmm. But in a serious, if you're stuck in a situation where you're just sitting there like, man, how do I get through these troopers? They're, if they're preloaded, you might even be better again with the Jawas, because they're going to go first without that offense up.
Yeah.
And then they start hammering away at them Jawas, and then boom, 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 boom. You're actually probably better off.
Yeah, especially if you're looking to get 1 or 2 out, and and a couple of them are close to being out and low on health and protection. You might give your Jawas a spin and see if you can't pop 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. Even low gear Jawas. I mean, obviously, if they're Relic End or whatever else, there's got to be some comparability. But yeah, there is some viable use for these guys. I'm telling you, I love these guys. We do it every day on Twitch. I try to find a battle in GAC to use my Jawas just for fun.
Yeah, just for science, it's great.
Yeah.
And again, I've used the Ray comp actually in Lightside GOTB with Ray. Obviously, you can't use Watt in the Lightside GOTB, but I've tried it with Armorer in place of Watt. Not as much. It's not as reliable as Watt.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while to get the best card back out, but a little bit of viability. I was able to get 3 out of 4 in phase 1 of Lightside GOTB.
Mm-hmm. I haven't considered putting Watt in that combination. Who would you pull out, the Jawa?
Well, so in the Ray comp, it's
oh, you're talking about the Ray comp.
The Ray comp, it's the Ray comp from the pit, which is Ray with Scav, Engineer, Nebbit, and then Watt, right?
Yeah,
and then you feed the protection tech to Nebbit, the health tech to Ray, so that she can continue to feed and be bolstered up. And you put the weapons tech, if you can get around to it, onto Scavenger, so that when the bombs go off,
they go off much bigger. Yeah, 100%. That's amazing.
Big boy boom.
I've got, guys, I've got 2 Jawa videos. They're about a year old, but they're still exactly viable. I still use my guys almost the same exact way. And I'm also going to post a video of my Jawas taking out, I think it was CLS, Mon Mothma, Geonosians, every team that I've taken down so far. If you got anything you want to add to that, Molpillz, let me know. And
I have to look through the archives to see if I've got something. I may have deleted them because again it was early on for science. But
yeah, that's fair.
I feel like I got one rolling around of a lower gear, not a full relic 7, but a lower geared, maybe relic 5 or 5 and 7 Grievous somewhere.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. All right, it's been running about 20 minutes, dude. I totally appreciate you coming in, man. You're freaking awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and drop the Jawa truck up here. We're going to pick up them Jawas and get them out of here. A little bit of Utini. I'll add music and some Utini sounds to this video when we're done. So anything you want to add before we rip out of here?
Nah, Utini bitches.
Utini bitches is right. You damn right. Thank you, Molpillz, for joining me. Let's see if I can get this outro right. I appreciate it. You guys don't forget that you can, oh, let me get that one there. Don't forget to hit that follow button and make sure to check out Molpillz. We're over on Twitch as well. He pops in here and there. I appreciate you for that too, my friend. And we are jumping up out of here, guys. Salute to the battalion. We are 1 battalion strong. See you guys.
Shut up and sit down.